Wagwan Mayot is your boy, DJ E2, aka your boy E2 Blue, the original Danda of the Dallas Cowboys. It's like, nah, but what's going on, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. How y'all doing today? It is Tuesday. We have a Thursday night game against the New Orleans Saints. They're coming into Dallas, and Dak Prescott says that I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Basically, Dak Prescott says they put their pants on just like we do. We believe in ourselves, and we believe that we can play, and we can come in here, and we can do what we need to do to win this game. I love the attitude of Dak Prescott. I love the fact that nothing phases him, even when, you know, he has a bad game or if he gets sacked too much. He never throws anybody under the bus. He never, he takes the blame for things, and again, full of confidence. And that's what you should have with a young quarterback, and that's rare these days. And, you know, those of you that don't like Dak Prescott, these are the main reasons why I like him outside of, you know, him being a football player. Like, he's just a stand-up guy. And having a guy like that as the leader of your team goes a long way, because leadership is a big thing, y'all, especially when it comes to people following what you say. If you're a leader, you're a so-called leader, and you're here and you're talking certain things, and people are not listening to you because you're not a leader. But they listen to Dak. And again, granted, you look at where he's getting paid right now. He makes, I think there's about 19 quarterbacks that are backups in this league right now that get paid more than Dak Prescott. Think about that for a minute. There are 19 backups in the league right now that get paid more than Dak Prescott. Now, we already know why, because of where he was drafted. He was a 4th round pick. He wasn't expected to be a starter. So, you know, by him being thrown into the fire, he has to go through his whole rookie contract like that. And that's why he took a lot of those sponsorships and those endorsement deals, because you got to make your money somewhere. You know, he's making, what, 800, 900,000? He's not even making a whole million on his salary for the year. So, I mean, you just look at that and you're like, okay, he's basically paying for, working for free. He's controlling the Dallas Cowboy offense for free, in layman's terms. But we know that at some point he will get paid. I don't think that he deserves top dollar, but I think that he deserves that middle of the ranking, you know, maybe 15, 16, 7, maybe 17 mil a year. But you also have to realize, too, these players on this Dallas Cowboys right now, these core guys, these Pro Bowlers, they are playing for contracts right now. So outside of Dak, you still got to extend Zeke. And if they were smart, they should actually extend Amari Cooper before his contract ends. So Amari's Cooper contract that was traded over from the Raiders will be over after next season. So technically the Cowboys still have another year with Amari. If they choose not to do anything with him right now and just let it ride out, because he is making 13 mil from that traded contract. They can, if they actually extend him before his contract is over, they can lower the cap charge, meaning they can spread his money out over a 4-year span. If you want to, you could do the same thing with Ezekiel Elliott, because he's up for his 5th-year option. Dak Prescott doesn't get that because he's not a 1st-round pick. He's a 4th, obviously. So, but Zeke does. He has that opportunity to get the 5th-year option, kind of like what we did with Byron Jones. Speaking of Byron Jones, you may have to pay him too. He's playing lights out, and look what happens when you play a player in a position that he's supposed to be at. Look at the results that you get. There's nothing like that. You can't. There's no way you can. We already knew coming out. First of all, at UConn, he was a cornerback. The Cowboys decided to make him a safety. I don't know why they did that. When they decided to do that, I was like, no, that's stupid. Why would you do that? But, you know, you live and you learn. He's playing good. He's still rated one of the best cornerbacks in the league right now. And he's going up against Mike Thomas in this game. And if he can shut down Mike Thomas, or at least contain him, Byron Jones, you're going to have to pay that boy. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it. Of course, D-Law is going to get his money. He is the leader of that defensive line, and he's showing up. I mean, the boy got a partially torn labrum, and he's still playing every week. I mean, first of all, that's warrior status right now. Just to come in there and just fight off of your ailments and still produce on the field. I mean, I can't do nothing but commend that. Even Crawford is playing good. Tyrone is playing good too. Now, his stats don't really show as much of what he's doing, but he's creating things for other players, and he's doing the things and creating pressure, as you should, that matter in the game, that create the turnovers. And again, a lot of those positions that, like especially the interior of lines that people don't pay attention to, they're the ones out there doing the dirty work, so the skill guys can go out there and make the big plays. And that's just how it is. Now, speaking of the trenches, you look at our offensive line right now. Tyron Smith has a little neck stinger issue. He's not practicing. They might hold him out the game, but they said that he was going to be a game-time decision. I know that if this was a Sunday game, he would probably be sure to play because you got the rest of the week to practice. But we got a Thursday night game, y'all. So I don't think that he's going to play. And if he does, it's a game-time decision. And in that case, if he doesn't, they'll just put Cam Fleming in there and go ahead and move your offense like that. I got a little bit more confidence in Cam, only because he's played with the Patriots. He's started in the Super Bowl before. So, I mean, he knows how to play the game. With him and Xavier Filo, and you know, it's good that we have actual capable backups this year. Because, you know, what did we have before? Chaz Green? Oh, okay, well, see how that worked out. Another thing that I wanted to bring up too, that I noticed in the game too, they finally decided to bring some help when players are struggling on that offensive line, like how they didn't do in the Falcons game last year when Chaz Green basically was a revolving door and Adrian Claiborne just came through and just kept sacking Dak for six times. So I look at it like this. You make the mistakes, you fix them. So the next time you already know what you're dealing with, and that stuff can't happen again. And I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to say this up until we play the Saints. You have to minimize your mistakes when it comes to them. Because one thing about Drew Brees, he only needs 1 minute to score. And, you know, we always say the time of possession matters in the game. But when you're playing against somebody like Drew Brees that can score like this, we gotta stay pat with that. So defense is gonna be key in this game. It's gonna be key. If we want to beat the Saints, it's gonna be key. Now, if we do beat the Saints, that's gonna send a shockwave through the whole NFL. Everybody's gonna be on notice. Even Nate Burleson said the dynamic for the Cowboys is dramatically gonna change if they beat the Saints, and I agree. And I look at it like this: Vegas has the Saints with a 12-point victory. 7-point victory might go up to 10 by the time Thursday comes. But again, Cowboys got to stay poised, and they gotta play their game, because David did defeat Goliath, and sometimes if you outsmart your foes, you can win. I look at things like, sometimes you gotta look at things with a grain of salt. It is the NFL. Any team can beat any team at any time. You've seen what happened this year. Look, the daggone Texans damn near blew out the Titans last night, and they're on an 8-game winning streak. So things can happen. I'm loving what Amari Cooper is doing for this team. But just imagine, and I know this is a mute point right now because he tore his Achilles, but just imagine if Dez Bryant was healthy and on this team still with Amari Cooper. Woo! The defenses will have to not just worry about a big, strong guy that uses leverage to catch the ball like Dez, but then they have to worry about a smooth route-running guy that can move and bend and dip his hips like Amari Cooper and shake you out your shoes and run in for the touchdown. Then you got to worry about that. Then you got Zeke running the ball, and he's eating because you can't stop all of them. So you got to pick your poison. So my thing is this. Since you have just one great dynamic receiver, you have to utilize your other guys because our other wide receivers don't suck. They just have to get in there. And when Dak, we already know what happens when Dak throws the ball to multiple people. We have a better chance of winning the game, period. I think that Cole Beasley has to get incorporated more into this offense. Get Gallup the ball. I said it before. Get Allen Hurns in there because, like I said, you're paying that guy $6 million a year. You got to get your people moving. I'm okay with Jason Garrett still being this coach as long as they get rid of Linehan. If they get rid of Linehan and they get a collegiate guy in here, somebody that has a college-minded offensive set, because that's how Dak strives and flourishes, because he is a mobile quarterback. And most mobile quarterbacks work well with coaches that have played at the collegiate level, because it only makes sense, y'all. Lincoln Clay, I know you guys threw some other names out there too as well, but do that. Because, like I said, Jason Garrett ain't calling the plays. He's just putting his philosophy. See, one thing that we have to realize about Jason Garrett and what he does with this team is he's not a Sunday coach as far as, like, the team. We all hate the fact that he's boring and that he claps and things of this nature, but these players want to play for him. Like I said in my last video, these players want to play for Jason Garrett, and I can't go against that, because if the players are happy, there's nothing that I can really do or say about that. I look at it like this. I know I can speak for all of y'all when I say that Linehan needs to go. We all say that, but you know, I don't even give a damn if somehow he calls a good game and we beat the Saints. I still don't trust him, because I've seen what you've done before and it was trash. You keep going back to the bullshit. So just eliminate the bullshit and get you out of here, so we don't have to worry about that. So that's why I say that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not for, you know, people losing their jobs, but I mean, it is whatever. If it makes better, we got rid of Paul Alexander. You see how the offensive line is playing better because they're going back to a scheme that fits their athleticism. And this offense has to change to work around the strengths of Dak Prescott. And I think a lot of our stalemate problems came from that. And the fact that we didn't have a number one wide receiver. They kept saying all offseason we didn't need a number one. Okay, well, they made a mistake. You know that didn't work. You got rid of Dez. You didn't have anything to complement. But one thing that you got to know that the way these defensive play, if they're not afraid of anybody on your offense, they are going to eat you alive. And the Saints is a team that can do that. I'm going to talk about this in my matchup videos too, but the matchup between Amari Cooper and Eli Apple, which got traded from the Giants to the Saints, oh, that's going to be a favorable matchup. Now, if we keep him away from Lattimore, because Lattimore he's a really good corner, but you're gonna have to do some things to move some players around this game. And I think that those underneath routes are going to be key, because if you could get Cole Beasley on a roll, they're not going to be able to stop both of him and Amari. So they're just gonna have to figure it out. Pick your poison, y'all. So that's pretty much it. I'm just going to hope for Tyron Smith. Hopefully everything goes well with him. Even if they sit him out, I guess he'll be ready for the Philly game. So what can I say, y'all? Just trying to stay optimistic. I'm not going to say that this is definitely going to be a challenging game. We're going to have to, because we have not faced a team as dynamic as this team yet this season. Even when we played the Jaguars, they weren't as good as this team is, because the Jaguars didn't have good offense with Blake Bortles. You see, Blake Bortles just got benched, so their offense really couldn't do much. Their defense was running their team. But now you have a team with a hella dynamic offense, and you have a defense that's, I would say, I'm not going to say their defense is better than ours. I think our defense is really stout, but they still have a better defense than what we played before. So I just look at that and I'm like, you got to pay attention and you got to come out with a win. So let's go Cowboys. That's all I got to say. It's Tuesday. We still got 2 more days till game day. I know you guys are excited. So am I. But again, I'm not going to come in here. It's funny because when I look at it in my mind, I'm like, this is going to be a hard game. But for some reason, I just have a feeling in my soul that the Cowboys are going to just come in there. It's a home game. They're going to be hyped. They're going to be ready to go. They're coming off of a great defensive stand from the Redskins game. And I just feel like that they're hyped and ready to go. And I feel the energy all the way here in Maryland. I feel it. I feel it. And I'm just saying, I got a feeling they're going to pull this game out. I just got that feeling. And normally when I have that feeling, I'm about 90% right. They always come through. And the one thing about Dallas Cowboys, when you cannot count them out. Because as soon as you count them out, that's when they come back and beat you. That's what the Jaguars did. Jaguars underestimated the Dallas Cowboys, and they came in there and whooped that ass. So I look at it like this. Do your job. Stay in your lanes. Don't turn the ball over. Feed Zeke. Feed Amari Cooper. And you'll win the game. If this is your first time listening to my videos, I appreciate it. Go ahead and tap dance on that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for your boy on this content. Thanks again to all my subscribers. I appreciate all your support. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Talk to y'all soon.